Tam, you were one of the radio pullers this weekend. You went with President Trump down to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. So, nice quiet weekend?
Yeah, I think they were expecting it to be a quiet weekend. There weren't a lot of aides that came down with him on Air Force One, but by the end of the weekend, there were a lot of people at Mar-a-Lago meeting with President Trump all of a sudden. Those tweets came out of the darkness of morning and changed the weekend for sure.
What do you make of it? Where did it come from, do you think?
Well, it is unclear. If you ask the White House, they won't say where it came from. If you put some dots together, it looks like it came from a Breitbart story that rounded up that Mark Levin talk show and various other news reports that are out there. And the White House keeps pointing to reports. I started asking at 7 a.m. on Saturday, and the questions continue. Where exactly is the president getting this from? He's the president of the United States. It's possible he could be getting intelligence from somewhere, but instead we're hearing about reports, and his spokespeople are now saying, well, if it's true, it would be a huge scandal. That's mighty conditional.
And Amy, from the outside, it looked like, we're seeing the reports that the president was angry when he did this. From the outside, it seemed like he had a pretty good week. He had the speech on Tuesday that got great reviews.
Absolutely.
Friday, when Attorney General Sessions recused himself, it seemed to me from the outside looking in that put the issue to rest. That was a good thing for them. But apparently,
he didn't see it as a good thing.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a White House, this is certainly a president who believes that if you back down on anything, you've lost. And so the decision by Sessions to recuse himself was seen not as a victory, but really as a big defeat. And, this is a funny thing, too, about this administration and really the president. It's like we live in these bifurcated worlds, right? He gets angry and it goes into a tweet. He defended Sessions on Twitter, but then sort of accepts, though grudgingly, what the effect is. He was upset that Michael Flynn had to resign, but he accepted that. He was upset about Sessions, but he accepted it, but he takes it out on Twitter. Meanwhile, it's the rest of the world that's trying to keep up with what this all means. And as we've seen from the panel that was right in front of us, it's not really changing anything on Capitol Hill. There's no special prosecutor. This is still all within Congress. They're either going to find something or they're not. Nothing that happened this weekend is going to change that. And we're still just really wrapping around the axle on an issue that we don't have any clarity.
Though it does give Democrats a little more ammunition to ask for an independent investigator, a special prosecutor, or whatever it ends up being that they would want to ask for. If it had stopped with Jeff Sessions recusing himself, it would have been harder for Democrats to make the case for an independent investigation. But add this last weekend to it, and they feel like they have a much better case to make, that they're going to keep making.
And the polls are on their side, too. More Americans saying they would like to see that.